Guess I could call you guys by the right name, AGC. That would help. All right, everybody, we're going to start. Meetings are being recorded. I'm going to pass the baton over to John from ACG. So give me just a second here. And let me find John on my list. So John, you're now the presenter. And in a second here, you should be able to see John's screen. I'll give it a second here, and I'm seeing John's screen. So if you're seeing John's screen, can you text me real quick? Just text me a note, say you see the screen okay, the Shoretel screen. Okay, anyway, I know you guys are seeing it. So anyway, we got a couple of you texting saying you're seeing the screen okay, so let's get started. So John, go ahead and give us an introduction, just so you guys are all know we're doing an upgrade this weekend to a newer version of Shoretel, and John's going to explain that to us. So John, take it away from here.
Okay, great. Thanks, Dan. So my name is John Ratsky. I am a senior system engineer with AGC Networks. So I'm mainly responsible for doing installs and obviously going out in the field and training. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to go over the new Shoretel communicator. You guys are currently running in version 7 of, it's probably, I think it's Call Manager. So in one of the versions it did change the name to Shoretel Communicator. So what we're going to go over today is the one that you're going to be receiving after we do the upgrade to Shoretel 14.2. So on the screen is the Shoretel communicator, and what we'll do is we'll go through different features of it, kind of what everything means.
John, is that
obviously along the
John, is that the new communicator?
Yes, new communicator.
Okay, super.
Yep. So your window might look a little different. I kind of like the old classic straight line edges, but depending on what version of Windows you're running and what format you have for the windows, the outside will look a little different. So, but the inside is what matters. So this is, again, Shoretel Communicator 14.2. So we'll go over all the aspects, obviously, as we go through the stuff. If you have any questions, just go ahead and do the chat. I will open it up at the end for any questions. So you will see there will be some big changes for you, but once you start using it, it's fairly easy to use. So the first thing is, how do I make and receive calls within Shoretel Communicator? So right here where it says type a name or number, this is your quick dialer. You can obviously just start typing someone's name in there, someone's phone number, and what it's going to do, it's going to search through the Shoretel directory. It's also going to sort through your Outlook contacts, and it'll pull all that information up. And then if you need to call, if you see someone you want to call, you just go ahead and click on them, and it'll go ahead and dial that person. Now you will see different icons next to their name. So green means they're available, and this is what we call presence. So green means they're available. Obviously, if they have a phone symbol, they're on a call. If they were red, that would be do not disturb. So if you actually try calling them, you will go directly to voicemail. Individuals that are clear, like Mike down here, that means there is no call presence. So this was probably something that was added to the system directory. So I know this points over to, we have a connection with another phone system, and that's what this is. So we've added this manually in. Now you do also have the ability with the little black arrow just to click on it. It will expand if there's any additional information. The one main thing would be email. So if you saw they were on a call or they were on do not disturb, you could easily just go ahead and click on their email. And I'm assuming you guys use Outlook And what it'll do, it goes ahead and it opens up a brand new Outlook email automatically addressed to that person. So that's the quick dialer. Now in the spot down below that, that is for your active calls. So obviously the call that I'm on right now with you guys is actively showing in my communicator. So you will get a call timer, how long you've been on that call. And you can tell this is the active call. It's got the little phone symbol with the volume bars. Now to the right of that, you do have options to choose. You can place them on hold. You can do transfer. You can do conference and hang up. So depending on what options you have, you probably won't have video or instant conference. But so really just hold, transfer, conference, hang up, and then call details. So when you place them on hold, I won't do it because it'll put you guys on hold. But when it places them on hold, you will get little hold symbols over here, little music symbols. And then you will get an unhold button. So you just click on hold. You can also double click on the call to place them on hold and double click to take them off hold. The transfer and conference, when you go ahead and click transfer, this will open up a box so you can go ahead and search for who you want to transfer to. Obviously, if you're transferring externally, just go ahead and type in the phone number. But if it is internally, you're just going to go ahead and select the person that you want, and then you have options down at the bottom. So what you will have transfer, consult, to mailbox, or cancel. So just be aware of the different options that you have. Transfer is a blind transfer, so it automatically goes ahead and transfers the call. Consult would allow you to speak to that person first, and then up at the top here, you'll have the option to complete the transfer, or you can just hang up the phone. To mailbox would obviously transfer right to someone's mailbox, so it won't even ring their phone, and cancel will cancel the transfer. So we did have a question come up. Is this the receptionist version? So everyone's going to receive Shoretel Communicator, and it will look exactly the same. Now, depending on what, if you are a receptionist, you might have what's called operator. And it's the same communicator, you just have some more options that are available, and I'll show you those options. And also, you have the ability, can you still put someone in park status? So there is, if you right-click on this call, you can do park, and then also this toolbar right up top here. This is the call toolbar. So if you enable that, you do have park there too. So if you click park, again, you can just type in the person's name, and then you have the ability to park it on their phone. So one thing I want to distinguish, just so everyone is aware, the difference, because you can obviously do transfer and conference on the phone, or you can do it in communicator. There is a difference, though, on how it handles the call. So when you actually hit transfer conference on the phone, it actually places that caller on hold, and then goes ahead and gives you the second line so you can dial. When you do it in communicator, it does not place that person on hold right away, and that's for the purpose of looking up call presence. So you can see I'm actively on a call. I look it up, say, oh yeah, Bill's available, let me go ahead and transfer the call to him. Okay, obviously if he wasn't available, you could easily tell the caller right away, he's currently on a call, you want his mailbox. So just be aware of the difference between the two. And hang up, obviously we'll hang up the call, and then your call details gives you information on the call as it goes through the Shoretel system. So you'll be able to, you can see how it flows through the system. Now there was a question, what does park mean? So park, there's a couple ways you can manipulate a call. So one of them is transferring. So transfer is going to ring that person's phone that you're transferring to, and obviously if they don't pick up, it goes to voicemail. Parking allows you to take the call off of your phone and park it onto someone else's phone as a call on hold. So that person that phone that you park the call on, that individual sitting by the phone will see the call on hold. So they'll have the flashing light on their phone, and they'll see the call ID, and they'll also get like an audible, so they know they have someone on hold. So they have, I'm not sure what your setting are, your park timeout setting, but if they don't pick that parked call up, it will then ring back after the timeout period back to the person who did the parking. So just be aware of that. There was a question about this working on 64-bit. It does work on 64-bit Windows. I'm currently running 64-bit Windows 7. So that is making a call, manipulating a call. So if you right-click, you do get the park option, and then also you have the call toolbar. Now an incoming call, when that comes in, I'm not going to be able to show you what it does, because there is you will get a little pop-up. So let me just show you an incoming call. You will get a pop-up. I can't move it because it shows on my other screen. But you will get a pop-up where you can answer it or send it to voicemail just by the click of the button. Also right here, you have the ability to answer it or send it to voicemail, and you see the caller ID. So I'll just go ahead and send it to voicemail. So, but you can have up to, you can have many calls in here up to your call stack limit. And then you can easily, whatever one's highlighted is the one that you're manipulating. So you do have the ability, if you're on a call, you have the ability to manipulate that other call. Okay. There was a question, will this work on laptop computers? Yes, it will. I'm on a laptop right now, so a desktop or a laptop. Can you still pick up a call from another extension? If you have the ability to do pickup, yes, you can. So let me go ahead and move down into the Windows parts down here. So you do have different windows that you have available. One of them is the contacts window. So these are internal contacts that maybe you call a lot or you want to monitor. So I can easily see, these are contacts I added in. I can easily see if they're on a call or not. If their phone was ringing, there'll be a little ringing symbol. So I could go ahead and pick that up. So there's at the top of the contacts here, you see pickup, unpark dial. So there's a lot of different options you can do. So and these also work as speed dial. So if I double clicked on one, it would go ahead and call that person. Now one nice thing is nice, there is also, if you right click on the individual, you do have this alert when available. And what that means when you select that, so as soon as Steve would get off the phone, I will get a little pop-up letting me know he's available now. And I can go ahead and through that pop-up, I can go ahead and click call, and it will call him for me. And it's very easy to add contacts. Just click the add button, and then just go ahead and type the name or the number or the internal extension. Another one you have is speed dials. So these are more for external customers or external numbers that you want to speed dial to. And they're very easy to add. Right click, hit add entry, type in the number. So if this is a number that is in the system or within your contacts or the Shoretel directory, as you start typing it, it will go ahead and start searching. You can click on the little black arrow, see if there's additional numbers. So I want to add this person in. Now what this does, these are speed dials. Now if I double click on them, it'll go ahead and call the number. And you notice it automatically populates the 9 and the 1, or if you use an 8 and a 1, it'll go ahead and do that. The real nice thing is when you create speed dials within Communicator, they do become available on your phone. So once you create them in Communicator, if you go to your phone, you hit the directory button. At the bottom of your display, you have your soft keys. So you will have a soft key that says speed, and then you'll be able to see your speed dials on your phone too. Now the call details window, it's a very nice window. It's obviously same thing as clicking the little call detail window on the active call. This window is only activated when you're on a call. The one thing I always like to point out is you do have the ability to add a call note. So this way you can put information and attach it to this call. So I have my call note here, and then once I'm done with this call, it'll go ahead and show up in my history. Now if I put a call note in here and I transfer the call to someone else internally, that call note will also transfer with it, so they would be able to see that. And you see the little pop-up here in the bottom right-hand corner? That's letting me know that user that I had in my contacts window, it said alert when available, they have become available now, so I can go ahead and call them if I wanted to. Go ahead and close that. Now your voicemail window, it's going to list all your voicemails, inbox save, you delete it. You do have a little player at the bottom, which you can play via your telephone or PC speakers. So you just go ahead and hit play. When you do that, it'll come through your phone. You can pick up the handset or listen to it on the speaker. And this bar will move across. As this bar is moving across, you can always grab it and re-listen to, especially if you need to listen to a phone number over again. There was a question I noticed there was an IM. Does that mean we can instant message between extensions? This is our communicator, and we do have through Shoretel we have instant messaging. I'm not sure if you guys have that or not. So most likely not if you haven't used it before. So okay. So you do also at the top of the voicemail how you can forward it. You can forward it to other people. You can call the sender. You can delete. You can save, and that just moves it to the appropriate voicemail folders. And also, if you right-click, you get those same options. You can export it to a WAV file, mark it as unheard. It bullets itself, just like marking an email as unheard. Now, the directory window, this is just going to show you the Shoretel directory. If you have any Outlook stuff imported, it'll also show you Outlook stuff. And you can easily do a search up here, or you can sort. If you right-click, you can call their numbers. You also have the ability to create new directory items, which would be your personal directory. And the last window is your history window. What's nice about the history, it becomes server-based. So that means your history, your call history is saved on the server and not your computer. So which is nice is if your computer crashes, you get a new computer, they reinstall Shoretel Communicator on there, you'll have your history back because it was saved on the server. So it is 1,000 entries, so scrolling 1,000 entries. Now you don't have to have all these windows open. If you don't want a window open, just click on it and then go ahead and hit the X, and that'll remove it. Now you do also at the top here, you have some stuff, primary phone, which is your Shoretel phone. You will also have, depending on what options you have or what abilities you have, you could also maybe have a soft phone, which would allow you to use a USB headset and not actually use a phone. And you can also probably, if you're going to work outside the office, you can also program Communicator to do extension assignment where it's ringing. Your extension is signed to, say, your cell phone. So and that's all set up through the configure phones, which I'll show you in a second. Where it says standard, this is your call handling mode. So just as you can change call handling modes on your phone by hitting the mode soft key, you can also do it in Communicator. You can just go ahead and click on the mode, it'll change it, and that instantly sends it out. Basically, if anyone has you in their contact list or they're searching for your name, they'll be able to see that you're on Do Not Disturb, which is, in a meeting out of office. They can easily switch it back. Also over here on the far right here, there's a mute button. So just like you have the mute button on the phone, you have one in Communicator. So if I hit mute, which I won't do because then you won't hear me, you will see the mute light on your phone light up. There is also a keypad, so if you didn't want to reach over to your phone, so let's say you're making an external call and you hit an auto attendant where you got to choose an option, or you're calling into a conference call and you got to put a code in. If you didn't want to reach over to your phone, you could always use the keypad and just hit the appropriate buttons, and that would go ahead and enter that information for you. Now, any options you might want to configure, they are done through the Options button. So if I click on the Shoretel symbol or go to Tools, I can go to Options. Let me bring it over here so you can actually see it. So the Options button, the first thing is My Phones. This is where you can configure additional numbers. So this would be if you were going to work outside the office. Or you want a real nice feature if you're up and about a lot. There is a feature called Additional Phones. So besides it ringing your Shoretel phone, you can also have it ring your cell phone at the same time. So My Phones is where you program the numbers. And then Incoming Call Routing. This is where my incoming calls ring. So my primary phone, just like I can switch it out here under the primary phone, you could also do it right here too. The ring additional phones, this would allow me to simultaneous ring another phone. So if I had it set to my mobile, it would ring my Shoretel phone and my mobile phone at the same time. Which is nice if you're up and you're not at your desk a lot and you still want to be able to answer the call. There is a really nice additional feature with the simultaneous ring. So if you have that turned on and say a call came in, you answered it on your Shoretel phone. If you need to leave, move away from your desk or whatever, you will have a soft key on your phone that says move. So if you hit move, that'll go ahead and move that call over to your simultaneous ring phone, which could be your cell phone. So and then you can continue on with that call. The Find Me feature is a really nice feature. It's a voicemail feature. So you have the ability, if you elect to do it, by putting your phone numbers in here. Basically, you can tell someone when they hit your voicemail, if you want the system to find me, press 1. So that way, someone calls in, they get your voicemail, they hear that message, they press 1, they get placed on hold, and then the Shoretel system tries to reach you at whatever numbers you have programmed. Obviously, if you don't answer, then that caller is directed back to your Shoretel voicemail. And you do have some additional with the Find Me. You can force them to record their name, and that way the system would play the name so you know who's actually calling you instead of just getting the caller ID. And then your call handling modes. This allows you to configure your call handling modes. The real nice thing about it here is you're recording your greetings. So you can record greetings to the voicemail system. It's just a lot easier within Communicator. So if I wanted to record my standard voicemail greeting, I can just hit record here and then hit the record button. It'll give me a beep on my phone. I can record my greeting, then hit stop and then play and re-listen to it. And if everything's good, just click OK. And I can do that for each call handling mode. And also this is where you can change your forward call conditions. So for the standard, it's when no answer or busy. Go ahead and go to my voicemail. So ring my phone 4 times, which is what I have it set for. The default is 3 rings. So if you ever need to change that, if you hit change destination for the standard, you can increase the number of rings. Well, let's say in a meeting, the default is forward calls always. So basically always go to voicemail. Don't even ring my phone. But let's say you were in a meeting and someone else was going to take your calls for you during that time. Instead of forwarding the voicemail, you could hit change destination and put their extension in here. That way calls would be forwarded to them. Or if you're out of the office and someone's going to be covering for you for when you're on vacation, again, same thing, hit change destination and put their extension in. Okay. Under the voicemail, you can elect to have email sent to you when you get a new voicemail. So you can have email WAV file, so that way you'll get an email and that voicemail will be attached as a WAV file, so an audio file. Your work email on your Apple, Android, or if you have a Windows phone, you can listen to your voicemails because they'll be attached to an email. Or you can elect to just get a notification that you got a new voicemail. The main thing is you want to make sure your email address is correct for that. One last thing we'll talk about is the Outlook integration. So you will get your Outlook contacts imported, so that way they're available for dialing. But you can also do what's called voicemail integration with Outlook and also calendar integration with Outlook. The voicemail integration, basically when you have Outlook actually opening and running, if you get a new voicemail, it'll actually show in there as an email, but you'll know it's from a Shoretel voicemail just based on the subject. But when you click on that, that actually opens up an integrated voicemail player, and from that you can play, you can delete, you can forward that voicemail. And then the calendar integration, this is, you can have your Outlook calendar control your call handling modes. So when you create a new appointment, you can elect, for that in the appointment to have the, let me see if it's working on mine. I've changed mine so much. I'll see if I can see it here. Yep. Yeah, I'll bring it over. So if I was creating a new appointment, I can have Shoretel automatically put me in a meeting. So that way the call handling mode on my phone is going to automatically switch to in a meeting. And then when it's done, it ends. But you always don't have to choose a meeting. I could just say, if you're doing more just kind of reminders within your calendar, then you can elect to choose standard, so that way it's not going to force people right into your voicemail. And that'll also work for if you got your vacation within your calendar, it'll work for that too. And I said that was the end, but one last thing I always like to point out, under customization, it's not enabled by default, but I always like to show it. This enable drag and drop window arrangement. It's a nice feature, especially if you want to see more things on the screen. So right now everything's in a tab format, but with with that box checked, I have the ability to drag and drop. So I clicked in history, and I'm holding my mouse button down, and I can drag it, and you see these little boxes, it'll tell you where it's going to put it. And then I can resize these, and I would say I need to, so here's my history, here's my quick dialer, here's my active call, here's my voicemail. Let me see, where do I want to put voicemail? Let's say I want my contacts right here. I'll expand this out. So this way you can have multiple windows showing at the same time and still have access to everything. And there are different, if you don't like it, you can always just drag everything right back to the middle, and it puts it right back into the tab format. And up here at view, you do have the ability to make it miniature. Let me bring it back over here. Makes it really small where you have your quick color and your active call window. Your windows are up here, which you can open up. Or you can dock it top, bottom, left, or right. Oh good, it did on the right window. So that makes it a permanent fixture on your screen. Nothing's going to open above it. So that's, depending on how much space you want to take up on your screen. Otherwise, it's just a normal window, and if I put another window, it's going to go over top of it. But what's nice, when you answer a call, it'll pull the Shoretel communicator front, so you have it there to use. So let me go back here. Not sure if there was any additional questions, but let's go. Oh, and there was, sorry, for those who are going to be operators, the additional thing that you have is what's called drag and drop transfer. So if I left click on this call and hold the button down, and I drag it down to my contact window, you see how when I put it over someone's name, it highlights them? Now, if I let go of the button, it's going to automatically transfer the call to that person. It does a blind transfer. So that's with the left mouse button. Now, if I hold the right mouse button down and drag it, it gives me a bunch of options I can do. I can do a blind transfer, transfer consult, I can do conference, park, and so forth. So depending on what abilities you have and through your user profile within Shoretel, you might not have all these options, but you will definitely have the transfer, so transfer blind, transfer consult, transfer to mailbox, conference blind, conference consult, park, and then cancel. So again, for the operators who have the ability to do it, if you left click and hold the button down and drag down to your contacts, we'll do a blind transfer. If you right click and drag and let go, it'll give you those options. That's what you have. So that way you can easily move calls around. You can see, we've built out your contact window for people who transfer calls a lot too, so you'll be able to do that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to any questions that you guys might have in preparation for next week.
Okay, anybody out there have questions? Any receptionists have questions? Might be a good time to speak up. We'll have another session in about 20 minutes. Some more. I think a lot of people didn't realize how good this training session would be. So anyway, they can always email me.
Dan, this is Thomasine.
Yeah, hi Thomasine.
Hi. When does this start again? When will this go in effect?
This will be on Monday. We will be upgrading the systems. If you're in an office, and you can email me the top 1, 2, or 3 people that answer the phones earliest in the morning, those systems will be done first. We're going to test some of them on Sunday to make sure we're good.
Okay.
But anyway, that's when it'll take effect. It'll take a while. Pardon me?
Do we have to reset our passwords and our voicemail? Just reset everything?
John, I don't think they reset anything, do they?
No, that should all stay.
That carries over.
Correct.
Okay, it'll carry over. Okay. Now, what about the like the salesmen? They have their phone set up to where when we do a transfer, it goes to their desk phone, and then it transfers onto their cell phone. Now, would they have to reset it as well, or it'll just carry over?
That should all carry over.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Good questions, Thomasine. Good questions. Anybody else speak up or chat?
And just so everyone's aware, there is a quick reference guide which we can make available for Shoretel Communicator. But also, if you have any, there is also a help, and it does open up the Shoretel Communicator for Windows, Shoretel 14.2. And that goes over every possible thing you could ever want, more than you have access to within Communicator. So it is very thorough.
Okay, good. We'll probably send you a link so you can get that PDF. Hopefully before Monday, we'll get that over to you. Okay, I think that's a wrap. Any last questions? Last call for any questions. You can speak if you want to turn your mic on, or chat if you have a quick question. This session's being recorded, so if you have a user in your office that misses these training sessions, we'll make it available where they can watch a video and get caught up on all this. Okay, that'll end the call. John, I will send out a new invite for the 1:30 session. Great session. Appreciate it. And I'll see you,
No problem.
I'll see you in about 20 minutes.
Sounds good.